Welcome back. Mr. DJK here. Got another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Hope you guys are excited. I've got a few cars purchased for us to rebuild slowly. I'm just going to kind of keep it to one car build per video. There is going to be, at the end of the video, there's going to be a link to the playlist if you wanted to see a couple other car videos that we've done as far as car rebuilds go. I am going to, however, I'm going to turn that. Actually, I don't know if this is... let's turn the music on just slightly. Alright. We'll save it. And then we'll go ahead and play Mr. JK. There we go. Okay. Oh. Let me know if you guys like these kind of videos. You know, if you guys like Car Mechanic Simulator specifically. Be sure to let me know by leaving a fat like on the video. You guys are always more than welcome to leave me suggestions, comments, maybe something that I need to go hunting for in the next video. I'll kind of give you guys an idea as to what kind of mod list I've got. All these cars here I can get. Right now, I've got basically a Lamborghini Diablo. I like these little Bugatti, the old school Bugatti. Yeah, I got a big list of mods here. So be sure to let me know what you guys want. I've got a Supra, I've got a Dodge Daytona, I even got this weird looking thing here, which I am not sure. If you guys know what the name of this car is right here, like the actual name, or what it's based off of, let me know in the comment down below, because I've got no clue. To me, it's almost like something Lotus designed, you know. I'm gonna go ahead and click this. We're gonna move this car. We're gonna put it... Oh, well. Okay. You know what? We're gonna swap this with the Supra. Okay. Let's get a good old screenshot here. I might have to look up how to do a screenshot. I've long since forgotten how to take a screenshot. No. Windows, thank you. Window key, Shift, and S. Or you can go Windows keys, port scan. I don't know if I have a port scan. I don't know what the heck. Oh, print screen. Okay. Boom. Get a couple of these screenshots in that way. I can use it as a thumbnail. But we're gonna move... Oh. We're gonna put it on car lift B, because today we're gonna focus on doing this Lamborghini. Just in case. Alright. Yep. Get the body all rust-free. We're gonna move this to the car wash station. There we go. Doing interior detailing. Get it all cleaned up on the inside. Go ahead and use the car wash. Get all this dust and dirt and debris off. Whoo, look at that color. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Heck yeah. That is awesome. Switch that and the Supra around a little bit. That way, it's a little bit easier. Okay. Let's get this engine pulled out. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it had a gearbox on it. It's kind of why I avoid recording during the day, is because usually the freaking train decides to come by, and I better not get in the habit of doing it, because let's move this a little bit. I think that's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Anyway, not only is there train, a lot of background noise, but you can see a little bit of my wife's desk, which she usually doesn't keep clean all that well. Oh, great. Let's get a good viewing angle. Figure we just go ahead and get right into it. This is a junkyard find Lamborghini. I gotta not get stuck on my cherry picker. That's what I've found that most people actually call it, instead of an engine crane, is a cherry picker. Oop. I could do that. Yeah, I ought to do that. Great success. Cool. The block, a V12 do-over cam, MRN. There's no engine parts or nothing in here. These are just body parts. Okay, so there's a lot of performance parts in here, actually. Go here. put the new block on there. Cool. And there's literally everything. Unless I got a good crankshaft. I do have a good crankshaft. I gotta get piston with conrod. So we're gonna add that. And we gotta do... we're gonna go here. We gotta get piston and rings, so... I'm gonna need 12 of those. Piston rings. I'm gonna need all 12 of those. We're gonna need cap. I think we're gonna need 6 of those. I don't know. I'm gonna just go ahead and buy 12, just in, because I just realized that said camshaft cap. Rod cap, we're gonna need 12 of those. And then I'm gonna need the crankshaft bearing cap, and then this one we should need like 6. Not so sure. Cool. I'm gonna put a bunch of performance parts on here, and hopefully we don't get scammed like we did with the BMW and not be able to drive it. Because we're missing one stupid freaking exhaust pipe. That's what most BMW boys want anyway, it's just the loudest exhaust ever. I have a lot of respect for BMW. They're just expensive, man. And I currently don't have enough money to even afford an Audi. I mean, you know. And Subaru's like, you know, like my STI is, it's a little bit expensive to maintain, but it's not like end of the world, you know. It's not super expensive. It's something like, I don't know. I'd equate, I don't know. You can't quite equate it to anything really. I'd say yearly maintenance, oil changes, and then you got to change out your gear oil every 60,000 miles. Which, granted, that's probably what, once every 2 years or so, a little bit less than. I mean, I've had the car for a year and a half, and I've put about 15,000 miles on it. So I mean, like what, once every 4 years or so. And I daily drive the crap out of that thing. I love it. I'd say it's probably in that $1,000 range. Oil, you know, getting good oil changes every 5,000 miles is when I change the oil, because I'm not like racing it. I'm just daily driving it. You know, I kind of baby it a little bit, but yeah, you got 2 of those oil changes, and then just being an older car, you know, because it's a 2012. I say older, but I mean it's not too bad. I've had a, Lord knows I've had a lot older. You know, my first car was a 2000 Saturn S series. Like, literally the owner's manual just generically said it was an S series car. I mean, granted, they had the SL1, the SL2. They had a lot of different S series. One was like a wagon. This one was just a little 2-door coupe. Got it for like $250 from a family member of ours. Oh, I'm just curious. We're gonna go up. Oh, it's an M3? Interesting. Okay. I already got that. Oil pan. We're gonna need that. But I think... Oh... Interesting. I think this is the one that we need. But I'm gonna open up my inventory. But what? Oh, yeah, we repaired that. Okay. Gearbox B. Yeah, because that's the one for the mid-engine. And that thing, man, my grandpa got it. Went from Texas back up here to Missouri, where we are. Went from Texarkana, Texas. One of his family members paid like $250 for it. Trailered it all the way back home. And we ended up having to do like everything to it because it sat for like 9 years. We got it from a family member that physically couldn't drive anymore. Let's just go ahead and put this stuff on the shopping list. But yeah, I drove it for like a year. I hit a deer. Out of all things, I hit a deer because we live in the middle of nowhere. My grandpa, we brought it home. It bent up the hood, busted a headlight out, and he goes, DJ, we gave $250 for this car. We've already put like $600 or $700 into it, flushing the fuel system, getting power steering and AC and everything to work again. He's like, it's totaled. Don't even worry about it. I said, okay. But my grandpa was a straight G about it. He ended up giving me, well, at least lending me, we had this old Ford Expedition. It was a 04. It was nice to drive. I mean, the 5.4 Tritons, I mean, they'll definitely learn you. You know, the thing just had a misfire the whole time that we had it. And we did coils, and it blew out one of the coils, which, it's a Triton. What do you expect? So we Healy coiled all 8 cylinders, put new spark plugs, put new ignition coils in it. And it drove, overall it drove pretty nice. Just had like an idle, it had a very slight miss. Maybe fuel system really needed to be cleaned, but I mean, I'm 16 at the time. And, I didn't know a whole lot. Just got a job at McDonald's. I paid for insurance and helped them out as much as I could. You know, but my grandpa really wanted me to make sure that I was saving up my own money. So I saved up my money while I was driving that Expedition. And, yeah. I drove the wheels off that thing pretty well. Drove it all over the place. Really liked it. Then my mom was going to move to Texas, and he goes, hey, I'll tell you what. You can take the Expedition, talking to my mother. And he's like, but you got to leave DJ. You got to leave him with me. My mom said, okay. So she took my younger siblings and left me behind, and my grandpa, being as nice as he is, he ended up getting a 98 Subaru Forester. And that car, I drove it for about 2 months before, guess what? Subaru doing Subaru things. And it blew the head gasket on it. But, you know, that was kind of out of my control. It already had like 250,000 miles on it, and Grandpa literally got it for free. It was kind of like part of some other deal that he was cooking up, and it ended up basically being free to him. But my grandpa and I, in the gravel parking lot of, well, I say gravel parking lot, we had a gravel driveway out in the middle of the woods. We had rebuilt that. Oh, did I miss math? 1, 2, 3, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, okay, so I needed 20 camshaft caps. Anyway, so we pulled the engine out, and third gear had a scratch, like the synchros were ever so slightly off, so we pulled out the engine and the transmission. Rebuilt it, had some good friends that knew what they were doing, and they liked to pick on me. I had to go to school, bring lunch. My lunch break at school, I would always sign out. My buddy Josh and I would sign each other out. And I'd always stop off at the machine shop that my uncle worked at. And I'm just making sure, because I need 8 more of these. Anyway, getting distracted talking. And I just slowly rebuilt that engine. My uncle taught me how to do it. You know, we took everything apart, put new head gasket on it, decked the heads, decked the block, cleaned the block, and then we just got new parts, except for we didn't get new pistons or anything, but we got new rings and put it all back together. We had a lot of fun doing that. That was a good bonding moment for my uncle and I. What kind of sucks is that same uncle that helped me rebuild the engine and transmission there, we had put it all back together because I was coming back and forth. I moved about 45 minutes away from my grandparents' house, and so over the weekends I would just sit there and rebuild the Subaru whenever I had time to. My grandpa had bought another car. I'm stupid. Thank you. Bought a little Hyundai Elantra for me. It was a manual car. Both of these were manuals, so it had a 5-speed in it. But anyway, that same uncle, I was getting towards the end of the project because I dropped the whole front subframe out. Put the transmission and the motor back on the subframe, set the body back down on it, get everything all bolted up, and made sure everything was all on time and that the engine actually ran. So before I put any coolant in it, I had already put in the braking oil, but before I put any coolant in it, I had started it for just a moment, put about half a tank of gas in it. And he had a trash fire about 10 feet from it. Burnt it down. So, my grandpa ended up giving me that Hyundai Elantra, which was awesome car still. You know, those little economy cars with a little 5-speed manual in them, I highly recommend. If you guys haven't tried them, go ahead and try them. I mean, they're dirt cheap. My grandpa paid. He went on eBay and he found them. I found this Elantra. It had like 200,000 miles on it. And he drove all the way to California, picked it up for $700 off of eBay, and then drove it home that 3-day drive and got like 30 miles to the gallon as an average. Which was good. And so we put new tires and suspension, and we ended up having to do the water pump. We took it to a shop because in order to do that job, it was just a little bit too much for my grandpa at the time because he was driving truck. And so he was just like, I'm just going to pay a good friend of mine. His name is Steve. And he's like, I'm just going to pay him to go ahead and do that timing job because it'll take him a day where it's going to take us 3 days and make sure everything's all back in time. It's a pain in the butt. Plus, we're in the middle of rebuilding the Subaru at the same time. So, so he went ahead and did it for us. And then there was a hose that he had missed, which, I mean, granted, he replaced the crossover pipe, which goes like up underneath the exhaust, and then it has 2 rubber hoses that connect it back for the bypass. One to the water pump, one back to the block. The little outlets. And he forgot to replace one of those hoses, so like 3 or 4 days later, it just exploded. It didn't look bad, but it was a little bit squishy, and so I ended up having to replace that in the parking lot at work. Just basic old cam gears, okay. Anyway, that car lasted a while, and then I had thrown out the clutch in it, but at that time I had already bought another car. So shortly after I returned it to my grandfather, the clutch had gone out on it. So it sat in the yard for a couple years. And then whenever my wife and I got together, we were looking for another vehicle, which is where we came across that 97 Nissan Hardbody. But my mom was making use of it at the time. And we went down there and we put all new shift cables on it, and then I didn't have the front. You have to have for a front engine or front wheel drive, you have to have a engine brace to hold up the engine while you dropped out the transaxle. I didn't have that front brace, so we didn't end up doing the clutch job, so we ended up scrapping it anyway. And my grandpa kept the proceeds from that. Okay, I'm losing it. Intake manifold, fuel rail, cam gears, got that. Power steering, time and shoe A. We're going to need to go here for that. But then I need to go here for maximum. For maximum efficiency. Power. Get a racing alternator. I don't know how that increases horsepower, but it does. Anyway, but yeah, we put new shift cables on it, and it was drivable. It's just the master cylinder for the clutch, and the clutch itself was slipping a lot, so it needed to be replaced anyway. But hey, look, I'm already in here. So we ended up giving up on that project. But my wife wasn't. I mean, this was like one of our first months of dating. I mean, we might have been dating for like a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. And she was willing to go down there and work on a car with me, but she had totaled her car, and I was like, well, I've got an idea. You can take the Honda, you can drive the Honda while, and then I'll just drive the little Elantra around, because I actually rather like that Elantra. I had a little Mazda Speed 3 for a while. If you want something that's just a cheap car, just a thrash for a while, I mean, like a good clean example runs about $8,000. But, you know, something like that, you know, lower mileage, probably 150-ish thousand miles on it, I would definitely treat that one with some respect. But mine, I'd paid like $3,000 for it. The guy put a bunch of aftermarket parts like BC Racing coilover suspension, a cold air intake. Done a lot of work to it. I mean, even the BC Racing coilovers were worth what I gave for the car. You know. And, man, I drove the wheels off of that thing. And that one was me being dumb, because this is before I got the Honda. And, you know, quite a few years ago. Ended up finding that car again, and the guy had just done it dirty, because he removed the cats. I already had it. I already had the pretty much cat back straight pipe. Is what I had done to it. So from the delete the muffler and resonators, and then from there on back, it was just straight pipe, and that car sounded good. I had a lot of fun in that car. My mom had borrowed it one day, and her and my uncle's wife, they had went out shopping and all this extra BS, and my mom absolutely terrified her. And she was doing like donuts in parking lots. But I mean, what you get with the Mazda Speed 3 is you get, it's like 260 horsepower is what they advertise it. It's like 300 foot-pounds of torque, and that little car was a 4-cylinder turbo with a 6-speed behind it, and it is by far the crispiest 6-speed I've ever messed with. Like, I've got a 6-speed in my Subaru, and it's really nice. It's a little bit more, I don't know how to explain it, but the gear ratios are so short in like first and second. That's a little bit underwhelming. It was just like the perfect gear ratio for that car. Very easy to drive in the winter too. Very safe cars. I mean, but it will get you in trouble with I keep on getting potential spams. If you're not careful, it can very well get you in trouble. But anyway. I'm still getting used to this talking to myself thing, because I'm talking to you guys, of course, but, you know, it's just me sitting in a room playing video games in all actuality, but... Hey, that's what that crossover pipe looked like on the Elantra. That was a dealer-only item. And my great-grandma, my grandpa's mother, went down and grabbed it for me. I mean, that's... If you guys were wondering how I was raised, I mean, we were just... When something happened and the family was in need of something, anybody in the family was in need of something, we'd all come together. The whole family would. Oh, I did need a second one of those. Okay, that was weird. Didn't realize that. But... my grandpa's pretty awesome. He always had my best interest in mind. You know, granted, I didn't think I turned out too bad. And my mom always needed a lot of help, and so my grandparents had always been the ones to take us in. You know, at one point in time, my grandpa had moved, and this is whenever she ended up moving back to Texas. But Grandpa had moved her into the house with us, kids, and mind you, they're at this point, you know, 50. My grandma's kind of mad. I mean, they're like later 40s, pretty close to 50. Take engine from stand. Let's go ahead and put this engine back in. Cool, 100% done. Now it looks like a Lamborghini again. Let's just take off all these. There's no extra parts, nothing. Headlights, bumper, plate, just a floating plate. That's just, but my grandma and grandpa took care of us. My grandpa was an over-the-road driver, and so my grandma was mainly the one that was home all the time, so grandpa would be gone for a month, home for maybe a week. Well, whenever he was home, man, if you needed something, he was right there for you. Every time. There's one time I went over the road with him, and I had a big old spider bite in my armpit, and they'd given me some medicine for it, and Grandpa was like, hey, don't forget, before we leave, don't forget your medicine. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I took my medicine and I set it on the counter. And so I left it. My grandpa turned around and my grandma brought it to him, met him at a gas station. Luckily, it was only about 30 minutes after we left the house that I realized it. You know, that I left it on the counter. But, I mean, heck, that was, you know, that was 20 minutes basically from both of them. Just to make sure that I had my medicine for it. That was a painful experience. That spider bite, it got big and nasty infected. Or maybe it was just because it was a spider bite. Maybe that's what the spider's venom was intended to do. I don't know, but it was basically like a... Oh, whoa. Interesting. Anyway, let's get all the suspension components out of here. Anyway, we always had fun over the road. Grandpa did that every couple years. He'd take us out on the road with him. He took me out more than anything, but because my sisters weren't super interested in going. Over the road too often with him. But yeah, just having projects like this, something we've always had, you know. Growing up, we had an 85 Pontiac Fiero, and you know, if you know anything about the Fiero, they had a notorious issue. What they would do is they would just spontaneously combust, the engine would. It was a very cool design. It was just like this, where you'd have the engine in the back, and then you'd have the, it'd be like a transaxle attached to it, and then it's rear-wheel drive, rear-engine rear-wheel drive. It was a V6 option, and we put about we put 2 motors in it. And, well, that's gonna bother me that the drive shaft's just a... Why is there... Hold on. This is all-wheel drive. Why is it attached to the front of the engine instead of... I'm not gonna ask any questions because I get it. It's not an exact science because it's a video game, but I just noticed that it's bolted up to the crankshaft pulley, which you only get a 1-to-1 you'll only ever have a 1-to-1 rotation for the front wheels. You'd have no differential. Like, well, I guess you'd have a 1-to-1 into a differential. That's what it looked like here, but as a, because your front wheels are just always going to be at whatever your engine's, like fourth gear the whole time. Which is weird. I mean, unless it has a shut off until you're in fourth gear. What? Okay. I think I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, okay. So I just need to lower the car and let's get this moved. Put it back. I'll just remove that air filter base, get everything out of here. Cool. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so tired of these spam calls. Let's get these. Inventory. Front. Four. Oh, that was the one part that I couldn't freaking mess up, too. Gotta lock in. Oh, shoot. You know what? I forgot. Bushings. I don't know how I'm gonna get that. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna need it anyway. I gotta go on a hunt for some freaking... I don't know where to freaking buy these things. What the heck? Oh, no. I need to go here. Let's get this stuff put together. Let's get all this tidied up, and then we're gonna go on the hunt for that freaking differential that I broke. Well, it's not a project without a mishap or two, huh? New calipers, new pistons. Oh well, such is life. Point that, because sometimes I get locked in. Alright, I think that's better. Yeah. Anyway, starter. What? Oh, electronics. This has got like the exact same setup as the front. Oh, I only had one of those. Yeah. Another scam call. Cool. Am I stupid? I didn't get spark plugs or nothing for the engine. Oh my goodness. Okay. think... Oh, thank goodness. Oh yeah, I need to get a fuel pump and a fuel tank. But, really? No? Hope you guys are down for a freaking adventure. Ah. Okay, let's do this. No cover? Clean up that. Okay, that's all we can do right now. I need to go. Let's go junkyard. See what they have in store.